It is with bated breath that Ukraine waits for the Indian Prime Minister. Indologists here, those who've studied India for decades, who've studied India's rich cultural past, our heritage, our history, and India's adherence to rules-based order. They are waiting for the Prime Minister's message to President Zelensky and to the people of Ukraine, because they are extremely hopeful that India's rich cultural past of being a peacemaker, of following rules-based order, of being a non-aligned country, of course now being a multi-aligned country, will play and pay rich dividends and play a critical role in the road to peace. And not just peace, but also reconstruction. I spoke to Indologists at the Ukraine University, those who've studied Indian history and culture for decades. Let's listen in to their hope and aspirations from the Prime Minister's visit, not just ushering in the path of peace, but also reconstruction of Ukraine. So the countdown has begun for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's arrival here in Kyiv, Ukraine. And with me are two very well-respected Indologists here in Kyiv, both who've studied India at length. And it is my proud privilege to introduce Dr. Yulia Phil. Dr. Yulia Phil is an Indologist at the Institute of Oriental Studies at the National Academy of Science. Ma'am, welcome on the show. Also with me, my proud privilege to introduce Dr. Olena Bordaloska, who's an Indologist at the prestigious Taras Shevchenkov National University here in Kyiv. And Dr. Yulia, let me begin by asking you your expectations of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Ukraine.
Oh, thank you very much for this opportunity to deliver my message to Indians, and really many expectations. And first of all, I would like Mr. Narendra Modi to see here the reality in Kyiv, to empathically feel the Ukrainian point of view, to understand a little bit, to feel that it's not the conflict we saw before, because it's the war which is waged for killing people, for killing us Ukrainians, and the diplomacy cannot be the very efficient and sensible way to solve the war, to stop the war, because how can we negotiate with people who want to kill us? Yeah, and I hope, I understand that India keeping neutrality in its foreign policy. I understand it, but also I would like dear Mr. Prime Minister of India to understand that this situation is a little bit different.
First of all, it's my biggest expectation because it will be the first ever visit of Prime Minister to Ukraine. We had two presidents of India here, but no foreign minister, not Prime Minister, they never visited Ukraine. That's why it's very important. Also, it is important because he will come during the wartime, as Dr. Yulia said, just to experience and to see who we are and what we are struggling for. It's very important. And third point is that he will come after Moscow visit. And if India really keeps neutrality, it was very much anticipated that he will come to Ukraine as well after Russia.
You know, as Indologists, as people who speak the language, you speak Hindi so well. Are you likely to meet the Prime Minister? And if you do, what will that conversation be like? What are points in your mind?
मैं स्वागत करेंगे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री से. So I will welcome him to Ukraine, and if it will be any possibility, I would like to tell him how many people here in Ukraine like Indian culture, how many studies we have in Indology in different fields, in history, languages, translation, philosophy, yoga, Ayurveda, whatever, and how we understand Indian foreign policy also. And I would like to tell him that we want people in India to know more about Ukraine. Unfortunately, no one studies Ukrainian language in India till now. We have to do something with this, and we have to inform Indian people about us, about our culture, about our mentality, about our purposes in this war for independence from Russia. It's a lot of things to tell, but first of all, I would like him really to see and to feel our country, our peaceful actually nature of Ukrainian people, and our will to stop this war means to win this war, just to keep our independence. I would like to tell him that we can't stop fighting because there will be no Ukraine in this way. So that is our reason. But we don't want other people suffer throughout the world, because Ukraine is famous for her food security, for example. Ukraine was always a provider of food and many things to India as well. We want this relationship to be restored, developed, and we would like to find out in other fields of this cooperation as well.
Will India-Ukraine relationship, in your appreciation, be taken to a new level, Dr. Yulia, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit? Is there more curiosity amongst Ukrainians to know more about India?
Yes, I see how big noise now in our media, in our blog sphere. Yeah, people are talking about the Modi visit everywhere, and I think this historical visit really make the interest of India larger in Ukraine, for sure.